Hello and welcome back to ChiefTutor.com training videos and Chief Architect. In this video I'll be discussing more about gable roofs as well as shed roofs and a combination of them both, as well as a saltbox roof, I believe they call it. So here I have just a simple little house that I've created. Go ahead and take a look. I haven't put any roof on it yet. This is just a standard straightforward little house that I got, and I'm going to go ahead and tile it vertically so we can kind of watch it as we build it. Okay, the first thing that happens while I'm in the plan view, if I were to go to Build Roof Tools and generate a roof plane and set the pitch at 8 and hit OK, it generates basically a hip condition around the entire house. Real simple and easy. But what if I wanted to create a roof where it was gabled on both ends and it sloped down and over my deck area? Well, first we'll realize that the deck doesn't have a roof over it at all. So I can select it in the 3D or I can select it in the 2D. And I can go to open its room specifications, go into the Structure tab, and add a roof over this room. Say OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the automatic generated roof, and I'll show you now that it generates a roof. It's going to put a roof over my deck area. But it's still got the hip conditions, which look really silly, and I don't know why anyone would build their house looking like that. So let's clean it up a bit, shall we? Go back to the 2D mode. I'm going to delete my roofs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the bottom and the top of my house, just those two walls, open it up for dialog, the wall specification, go to the roof tab and choose it to be full gable on either side. So it's full gable there and full gable there. I simply clicked on one wall, holding shift, I select the next wall. That way I can get both walls at the same time to be opened and changed. Okay, so the way I figured it is I have a full gable wall here and here, but the roof is hip down on this wall as well as this wall. But in this case we've included the deck, so now it's going to hip down here as well as these two side walls, which are the railings here. So it's going to look really funny, but let's go ahead and do it so you kind of understand what's going on with the computer. And there we see it's got that generated gable on both ends of my house, but it's doing the hip roof funky thing over the deck, which we don't want. So easy enough, we're going to go ahead and delete that. And again, I'm going to select the first wall, hold down shift, select the next wall, open it up, and choose full gable. And click OK. Now I have full gable here, 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 and here. And when I generate my roof, it should look somewhat pretty. And there we go. Pretty straightforward. And again, I could go in here and go ceiling over this room so it has a proper ceiling generated as well. Now of course it's using the default siding wall, which didn't work out good, but there, they used the stucco wall on that side. It's kind of nice. So let's go to the spray can. Actually, we'll just go to the eyedropper, grab the one and apply it to the other. This is pretty quick. Okay, so what if I wanted to do the hip roof at this 812 pitch, but when it goes over the porch, I want to salt box out. I want to come down at like 312 or something like that. Well, that's easy enough done as well. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and delete the roof planes. Going back here, I realize I still have my default set full gable, full gable, full gable, and over here I have it coming down as a hip roof. I'm going to open that wall up and I'm going to choose that wall there to be, instead of the 812, to be 312. Now what's going to happen is Chief's going to generate the wall up here at 8 and then down at 3, or at least that's what I hope. So go ahead and hit the build roof plane, click OK, and bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Easy enough. So if I wanted the condition where I actually hipped up at 8, or excuse me, gabled up at 8, gabled down at 8, and then wherever that intersecting point needs to be, it comes out at 3. We can do that as well. But we want to kind of outsmart Chief to get that done. So the best way to do that I've found is you bring in the walls. So Chief has a definite definition between this wall and that wall, which is your gable walls. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one in as well. Say about there. It doesn't really matter. and we'll go ahead and regenerate our scenario. And what this will do is it'll produce my 312 pitch roof perfectly onto my 812s. And then I can manually correct it. I can grab that roof plane, pull it out and attach it to this roof plane. Pull it out here, attach it to that roof plane. I can even come this and bring it back to, well, let's bring it back to there, just outside the wall so it can generate properly. Okay, there we go. And there we go. In fact, it probably looks even cleaner to just recess it right up back into our 312 roof, which that's what we'll do. It does look a lot cleaner. Whoop, keep going. There we go. And see, as we can see, there it is. And all we need to do now is just readjust these walls. I'm just going to bring them back down, and they will snap and regenerate. And if it does give you trouble on the wall, which sometimes it does there, I'm going to try to get it in my 3D, but it didn't work. So I'm going to close it. Sometimes the 3D just can't generate or keep up correctly. So just regen, see if that corrects the problem. Worked good on this side, but for some reason it's not carrying over well on that side. So I'm going to take a full perspective overview and I'm going to turn it into glass to see if there's any errors or anything I could see, like that one right there. I could see that wall, and I might have to readjust the 3D to see it more correctly, but let's go ahead and delete that and then go back down to level 1, and it should have fixed the problem for you. It had an extra attic wall. In fact, there's still a little wall there. You can see a little definition, which we can get in there and delete, but for now this looks good. What I also maybe would like to do is to finish it off, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, is why don't we take these 3 walls. Nah, it's not true. I'm not a perfectionist at all, actually. And I'm just going to choose post to beam, because that way, it finishes off a little nicer. Gives our house a nice finished look. And that's basically it. It's been messing with roof planes. This is gable and shed roof scenarios, as well as the Saltbox scenario you see before you now. And you just remember, the way Chief generates its roof is how they want it built in real life. So it's real user friendly. Just keep trying around with those different angles and auto-generating details, and you'll find that it's quite quick and easy to learn. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I've got many more to come.